In Hope, hundreds gathered in protest of the federal government's carbon tax increase. It has now climbed from $65 per ton to $80. At the pump, that means British Columbians will pay about 18 cents per litre of regular gas.
It's just another tax that we have to pay.
At this gas station in Vancouver, people were feeling the pain.
In BC, Vancouver, it's really very hard nowadays to live in because the prices are really high.
I'm getting by, but it is difficult. Yeah, everything's gone up so much.
The carbon tax applies to the purchase or use of fuel like gasoline, diesel, or propane. The federal government says it's a crucial tool.
The price on pollution is the most efficient way to reduce carbon emissions and to fight against the existential threat that is climate change, but to do so in a manner that is affordable for Canadians.
In BC, the province provides a credit to offset the impact of the tax. However, it's based on your income. Before the increase, a single person earning $39,115 or less would receive the max credit of $447 a year. That credit is reduced up until earnings of $61,465, when the credit is dropped to zero. Meanwhile, a family of four that earns up to $50,170 receives the full credit of $893.50. And if they earn more than $94,845, the credit again drops to zero. With the increase now in effect, both the amount you could receive and the thresholds have risen. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation says the credit leaves too many out.
So totally normal middle-class British Columbian families who are already having a hard time keeping a roof over their head, feeding their family, won't see any money back from the provincial government in rebates.
Binda would like to see the tax scrapped, especially since many are already facing a cost of living crisis.
When it's -20 up in Prince George, folks don't have any other option other than to heat their homes, by and large, using natural gas. Most folks don't have the option of whether or not to drive their kids to hockey practice or drive themselves to work.
Right now, the province says about 65% of British Columbians are eligible for the credit, with a goal of reaching 80% of households by 2030. Joel Ballard, CBC News, Vancouver.
And federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre also continued his long-time campaign against the carbon tax. He held a rally in Nanaimo today, calling to axe the tax.
This is not just a tax at the pump. It's a tax on your heat, a tax on your food, because if you tax the farmer who grows the food and the trucker who ships the food, you tax all who buy the food.
He says government policies have led to record numbers of Canadians visiting food banks. He's also discussed challenges including the cost of housing, crime, and the opioid crisis. Poilievre promised to end Trudeau's signature climate policy if elected.